This video is on phase changes, so from solid to liquid to gas and vice versa, and the energy changes that are associated with those phase changes. So the terms endothermic and exothermic will be involved in this extensively. So you know some of these. So we think over here a solid turning into a liquid. So we think about a piece of ice turning into liquid water. I'm going to pause for just a second. All right. So solid to liquid, or a piece of metal turning into liquid. So to make this melt, we have to put heat into it. That is called an endothermic process. Okay, so if we think about the molecules over here, the molecules in a solid, remember, are very closely packed together in a pretty specific arrangement, but they're very tightly packed together. As we go to a liquid, the molecules are going to be more spread apart. As we go to a gas, those molecules are going to be way more spread apart. So as we add heat, the molecules start to move faster and spread out. They increase in what's called kinetic energy, energy of motion. So not very much kinetic energy here. Add heat, molecules begin to speed up, spread out. There's more collisions between the molecules. Gases, the molecules are very spread out. So a solid to a liquid is melting. If we want liquid water or liquid of anything to turn into a gas, we still add heat into it. That is called vaporization. Essentially, that's boiling. Now, water will evaporate at any temperature. Let's think about those processes going the opposite direction. So going from a gas back to a liquid. So we have gas in the air, we have water vapor in the air. It can turn into a liquid. That is called condensation. Get on the outside of a cup if your cup is cold. And liquid back to a solid would be freezing. So as we're going this direction, the molecules are slowing down, getting closer together. If we think about it, this is frozen, okay, because it's solid. You don't think of it as being frozen because it's not very cold, but it actually freezes at probably, well, it's a piece of aluminum, and aluminum freezes at 933 degrees Celsius. So any temperature below 933 degrees, and this will be a solid. This will not turn to a liquid until 934 degrees. So its freezing temperature is very, very hot, even though we think of freezing as cold because we think of water and ice. We also have some other ones here. Going from a solid directly to a gas. A piece of dry ice will do this. It goes directly from a solid right into the air. Even snow in the winter will go directly from a solid into the air. That is called subliming or sublimation. And vice versa, going back the other direction, a gas right into a solid is called deposition. It sometimes happens in the atmosphere. Deposition. So let's think about endothermic versus exothermic. So solid to liquid, we have to put heat into a piece of solid. I need to put heat into this to make it melt. If I have some water, I need to put heat into it to make it boil and turn into a gas. So the top ones here going to the right are all endothermic processes. I put heat in to make them happen going that direction. So these processes going to the right up here are all endothermic as we move that direction. So heat is going in. So the heat going into this means something else has to be exothermic. Okay, it could be the air, it could be my hand, heat going from my hand into this, from a stove, heat going out of the stove into this, be endothermic for this, exothermic for the stove. The bottom ones then would all be exothermic. To make a gas turn into a liquid, I need to cool it. I need to take heat out of it. To make liquid water turn into ice, I need to take heat out of the water. That is exothermic. So going back this direction, down here, those are all exothermic processes. All right. Tip for changes of state for today.